Texas. And
Mm.
actually, I received a gift from a store owner who I was purchasing items from in New Jersey. She sent me this beautiful stone necklace, which I'm wearing now, can't see, but but it's a beautiful Egyptian necklace, and it was a gift from the mother Isis. And so, and I just cried when I got it because I'm purchasing from this woman and she's sending me gifts, like, really. But
Wow.
the necklace is so beautiful and heavy. That was my first encounter, and then all of a sudden she started to come, and it started to come and make herself known. And then other people who are seers would see her around me. They were like, this beautiful um, woman who had this crown, this gold crown, is around you, And she was like, "You come from a royal background," and that started to make me dig a little deeper. And then Goddess Kali Ma, she is a Hindu goddess. She was the one that really push me. She's that, that mother, but she's a destroyer. She's going to come in and she's going to destroy what no longer serves you. If you want some kick butt action, she is that deity. She does not, she's loving, but she's fierce. And
Mm.
I was scared to work with her because when you look at when you Google her name, she looks fierce.
Yeah, she
But
does. She does.
she really does. But when she comes to you and works with you, oh my gosh, her candle is black. So, that means black, she's just, destroying, just like Mother Earth. Mother Earth grows stuff and then in the wintertime she destroys it.
Yep.
Same thing. And so these deities, they just come. I have the male deities, as I was speaking to you about. Cronus has come to me. Also the deity Duhuti, which is thought, an Egyptian deity. He's a scribe, so he helps you write, and
Wow.
things of that nature. So a lot of deities have come to me. The triple goddess, Celtic goddesses have come to me recently. Persephone and Hecate has come. So, and these are somewhat they call dark goddesses. And I want the women, to not be afraid, because any woman that works with me, they have to be open. They have to
So
be
let's
open.
let's talk about that. I want to jump in real quick because I know everybody's thinking what I was thinking when I first spoke to you about this, and I still am thinking it now, which is, okay, I believe in God
Yes,
myself.
yes,
So I believe in Jesus, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Indian, no matter what your faith is, if you believe in spirit in the universe, a lot of people, because it's not even really discussed very much,
yes.
I think have, like myself, have a lot of like, uh-oh, is this scary? What would God think? What would spirit think? Is this bad? I guess those are the thoughts that go through my mind. So can you
Mm,
walk us through this? Because we don't have the experience that you have. So we're
right.
thinking, I'm nervous now. Like, is this gonna hurt me or am I doing
Mhm.
something wrong?
No. And I definitely can understand, because I remember when Spirit told me to get the tarot cards, I was like, what? No,
Mm-hmm.
this is not
Mm-hmm.
biblical. I can show you scripture that this is not, this is divination. This is not acceptable. And I'm arguing back and forth with Spirit, and Spirit was like, no, I validate you and no one else. And the conversation was over with. Spirit left, in a sense, the conversation was over. So I knew at that point that walking this path was acceptable. And once I accepted that, mentally, then that's when the deity started like coming, like, out of the woodworks. They want to work with me, even those that walk the earth, that were religious men and women who have come to me to come back to help me, women with money issues, with businesses. So I tap into their energy and their knowledge to help my clients, because some of them will come and say, hey, I want to spearhead this mission with this particular client. They will wake me up in the morning and say, hey, I want to work with this particular client. So
Really?
yes,
Really?
yes,
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes. So
So
God,
they know who to work with and they tell
yes,
you, I want to work with Shannon on blah, blah, blah.
Yes, yes, because
Wow.
we all are connected. We all are part of divine collective, and they know us whether we know them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
I believe that. Yes.
and we're all connected, whether it's Jesus in Christianity, is Krishna, in Hinduism. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, and then if you go even further into Kemetic, it's not Osiris, it's Horus. So they're all at different. They came at different ages to teach what they needed to teach, but they're all the same energy. Because if I can't go over to a secluded area in India and start talking about Jesus, they're going to be like, when they start to hear the similarities of what I'm saying, they're going to say, okay, well, that's Krishna.
I
Because,
totally get that. Yes.
hmm hmm
Yes. So it's basically spirit in different forms because it has to come in different forms to be accepted in different areas of the world. Right?
yes, because we all
Right. I
speak
get
different
that.
tongues. We all speak different
I get
tongues.
that.
Hmm
I just think it's so fascinating, and I have to tell everyone, tell the listeners that what I do know about this is that they are very, very specific. What she's saying is so true. They will tell. They haven't. I have not worked with them, but I've worked with God and spirit and universe, and they are very specific with their instructions. And I want you to tell them, Cynthia, about the time that was it Zeus or Cronus that told you thought it was Zeus, and they're
Uh-huh.
very specific. I know I'm so and so.
Yes, it was funny. It was late at night. I wasn't really meditating. It wasn't a full moon or a new moon. So I was like, okay, I'm just laying there in the dark. And then I just see this image of this Caucasian looking man with this white, beautiful, thick, probably shoulder length hair. And so an older man, and I was like, oh, I said, oh, Zeus. And he said, no, Cronus. And I was like, okay.
Super specific. They don't fool around. This is like, no, I'm so and so.
Yeah, so I got up and I'm like, okay, I know more of Zeus. So I started researching about Cronus. I'm like, okay, well, I was in the same ballpark. That's his dad, right?
Ah, there you go. There you go. I mean, so you take this energy and you help people that are mostly women, correct? Do you
Yes.
work with any men or is it mostly all women?
No, I only work with women at this point.
Okay.
Hmm
Okay. And help them move through the whole process of healing, doing the inner work. And
Yeah,
then because once the inner work is done, then the outer work will show up.
yes.
And this can be now, can this also be if someone wanted to stay where they are? They wanted to say, gee, I'm struggling, but I like where I am. How can I get better at my job?
And if they're, well, for most of the women who are being called to me, they're going through hell in a
Okay,
sense. They're going
got it.
through a lot of chaos as far as mentally and around them, in their environment. Because I guess because the level of my spiritual level is really elevated to the point that I'm a I'm being called. The women being called to me, they have just as much power, or they have such a huge calling that they need someone that's already has been there or up there, if you get what I mean.
Yes, yes.
So the women who are drawn to me, they have a high calling, and it's like an urgency. I have women finding me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, like, I'm drawn to you. I don't know why. And there's some of them like, I'm scared. And I'm like, why you're scared? Because the messages you're knowing is so intense. It's like you reading my mind. And I'm like, well, I listen to spirit and I post what spirit tells me. And I may,
Mm,
put a Pacific woman on my Facebook page. I may put that in there to get your attention. I'm not putting your name. I'm putting a specific message that you're going to be drawn to.
wow.
And stores will make sure you see that every message I post on Facebook or Instagram, mostly Facebook, they they are, when I post it, that particular woman is drawn to it because she's in my inbox, or she's posting at the bottom. I don't even have to put her name.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I totally believe in that. I believe in divine timing. I believe in synchronicities, and that when you're putting something out there that the right person's going to see it at just the right time. They may have been
Yes.
thinking, I need some help. And then this
Yeah.
is the point where they act on it, which I
Yeah.
think is awesome. Now, you mentioned a 6 month and a 12-month program. Are there
Yes.
other programs that you offer for your particular clients?
Yes, I have those clients that, that say, okay, I want to try you out for 3 months. So I do have a 3-month program, but that's mostly focused on health. I just break the
Okay.
12-month program down into 3 months in quarterly stages. That's all. So the
Okay.
first month is the first 90 days we work on health. The 60 days um, we work on the womb healing, which I call Yoni Love. And then the next program, we work on spiritual and connecting that person with their inner goddess and their guides and so forth. And the last stage is business. So, and that's the 12 months. So it's 3, 6, 9, and 12.
Awesome. Awesome. So that's great because I'm asking so that the listeners can know that there are many ways to work with
Yes.
Cynthia, not just one.
Hmm.
And she's super flexible in terms of being open to helping you. Obviously, that's what she's here to do, and that's how she's showing up really strongly. So I say this to not be afraid and think, oh my gosh, a year long, I'm not sure if I want to make a commitment. She's flexible. She has other
Yes.
opportunities to work with her. And I
Yes.
think if you're even thinking about it and this resonates with you, you should reach out to her. Obviously, we're going to have all of her links. But one question I do have, Cynthia, is when you are connecting with even just meditating, do you have any tips for the listeners on how they can meditate better, how they can communicate better with spirit themselves?
The main thing I would say for women is to connect and get silent and don't have any expectations of how the silence, which we call the void, should go. Just get centered and just be and allow the thoughts to just come in. I teach a lot of my clients how to connect with their inner child, their children. I'm not going to say child, children, because some of us may have a child within us that's, a newborn, that has suffered some damage. Or someone that's 5 years old who's still hiding in their joints. When I notice that when women have joint pains and other type of pains or anything in the body, usually that's probably a childhood trauma or some type of trauma that's trapped in there that needs and wants some attention and that you
Mm,
neglect that. So basically, once you get quiet and centered, your children within you, which are the aspects of you, will come forward and say, they may come forward with their names, they may come forth, or your guides may drop some ideas in you. Just get quiet. Don't judge it. Don't judge them. Just get quiet and just center yourself and listen. Don't worry about taking notes. Just be silent and watch the connectivity. Watch by you being open, they are going to come forth and tell you more about you and what you need to do. That's all. It's
hmm
very simple.
Yeah. I always hear that. Keep it simple, right? Keep it
Mhm.
simple. It's so easy. I mean, I happen to use music because it makes me
Yes.
calm down, but whatever works for you. Some people need complete silence. Some people have altars, but it's just whatever works for you. And I think, as she's saying, Cynthia's saying the main thing is you need to be open to
Yes.
just put your expectations and your judgments aside
Mhm.
of yourself or anything that comes through. And don't worry about remembering it all because if you need to remember it, trust me, they're going to tell you more than once, right?
Yes.
You have to have a sense of humor in this type of work if you're doing energy work or any type of work like Cynthia's doing. But I think the coolest thing is that for me is that you have the nursing background. So you've it's not woo woo. It's
Right.
this type of connection is definitely different and rare. It's a rare gift that you have, I believe, but it's so timely because you can give people information that they need just when they need it.
Yes.
Does that make
Yes.
sense? Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's like you said, it's not woo-woo because people label it woo-woo because of the fact they don't understand themselves. They don't
Yes.
understand the God or goddess within themselves. And and that's why they label that woo woo. But once you just open yourself up to yourself, just open yourself up to yourself,